Hey there, Girl Scouts. I want to talk about cast iron cooking for campouts. This is something that we don't teach a lot for Sainte-Marie, but if you have some time and some patience, it can be a great way to feed a lot of people. It does take some time though, so you need to set aside a few hours to devote to your meal preparation. But if you like things like tending coals and tending a big pot of bubbling stew or cobbler, it can be a fun way to get a meal made. This is my Dutch oven. It is a Lodge brand. I like this brand. I've never seen one crack or go bad. I have a 12-inch oven. It's kind of on the large size, although I think there's bigger ones you can get. It has little feet on the bottom, so you can see I've put down tinfoil to protect my patio. But if I was at camp, I would just clean out a nice big dirt area, have bare dirt, and put this down on the dirt. You can see that my oven is nice and clean because the last time I used it, I scrubbed it out really well. I dried it and then I coat it with oil, and that keeps it from getting rusty. If you ever see one of these at a garage sale or a Goodwill, please grab it. If you don't want it, I'll take it off your hands. So I need a couple of tools for my Dutch oven. This lid lifter, it's pretty cool. You can improvise with a hammer, maybe a stick, but this is very well built for its purpose. Helps you lift the lid, and you'll see a little bit later why lifting the lid correctly is so important to Dutch oven cooking. Some other things that I have here are some long tongs. I'm gonna need this to take hot coals, which I have getting ready right here, and place them above and below my oven. And then I like, whenever I'm tending any kind of fire, some nice leather gloves to protect my hands. Some people don't like Dutch ovens because they figure that's gonna be a lot of cleanup and work to get all the food out of there afterwards. I have a couple of tricks to show you. So one is cooking spray. This is always part of my camp kit. So before I cook anything, in my clean Dutch oven, I'm gonna coat the inside with cooking spray. Top, bottom of the lid also. So that's gonna keep things from sticking. When I'm finished cooking and we're finished eating, I will empty out as much food as I can, scrape it out as well as I can. And then all I do to clean it is I pour boiling water in there and swish it around with a dish brush. And that gets almost everything off really easily. Nice, easy way to do it. So I've got my oven prepared, ready to go here. And I've got some chicken breasts that I've been marinating. So I'm gonna pop those in there into my greased oven now. I'm gonna put all that sauce in there too. This is just boneless, skinless chicken breasts in hot wing sauce and some ranch dressing mix, that powdered mix. So scrape that in there. Spread the meat around. I'm gonna put the top on. So that's ready to go. Over here, I'm getting my briquettes ready. So you can buy a thing called a coal stove, which is a purpose-built metal container for getting coals ready. I like to use these big aluminum cans. If you have access to a school cafeteria, they might have some of these. Any group that cooks in bulk might have access to these big old cans. Or you can head over to Smart & Final and buy a big, huge can of peaches or something and save the can, punch holes in it for ventilation. So if you can see here, I have one of these cans about 20, 30 minutes ago. I started preparing my coals. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Yeah, get a close up of that. Do you think those coals are ready? They need a little more time. About 3. A little bit more time. So we'll let those get nice and ripe, and I'm gonna show you how I did that. I have another homemade coal stove here, ready to go. And I have here some good old Girl Scout fire starters. This is a cardboard egg carton filled with dryer lint and wax. That's all that is. It's not very attractive, but it works. Best thing in the world for starting campfires or getting coals ready. So in my homemade coal stove here, I'm going to take a couple of Girl Scout fire starters. Have some matches. Light that, and light my Girl Scout fire starter. And let's notice how quickly this thing catches on fire. If that doesn't want to make you keep your dryer lint screen clean, then nothing will. This is incredibly flammable. I'm gonna put it in there. And I'm gonna put 2 more in because I want this to get done quickly. Get those going in there. Dryer lint, ladies. And now, I'm gonna add some coals. So the fire starters will keep fire going in there long enough for these coals to be ignited. It's a little smoky. Hopefully we can get this done before the fire department shuts us down here. So that's how I got the coals ready. Put on my leather gloves, and I can move this out of the way. Hopefully the neighbors don't get scared while we're doing this. All right, in the meantime, I've got some nice ripe coals here ready to go on my Dutch oven. There's a science to this. So coals are uniform, and they're uniform texture, composition, and size. So can you see that chart there? So there is a science to the size of your oven, the temperature that you're trying to achieve with this oven, just like a regular oven, and the number of coals that you're going to put on the bottom and the top. So you can be scientific about it. For me, I usually have a lot of coals, and I'm usually trying to get dinner cooked sooner rather than later. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm laying out the coals for the bottom of my Dutch oven. And I want a nice uniform surface here. And if you're cooking something like chicken, if you're starting with raw meat, it is gonna take a while, maybe a couple hours. So you're gonna have to keep these coals going. That's why I started that other set. Let's see what we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's do 16 on the bottom. So we got 16 coals on the bottom. My chicken on top, tuck all my coals underneath. And I'm gonna put the rest on the top. Space those out. If you're feeding a crowd, if you had several Dutch ovens, you can even stack them one on top of another. so you can use all the heat from all your coals, use your heat efficiently. But that looks good to me. Get this out of the way. Meanwhile, my other coals are getting ready. Now, one last bit. We'll show you the results a little bit later. This is why my lid lifter is so important here, because you do need to lift the lid occasionally to check the contents. Almost nobody likes coal dust in their food, so this thing helps you lift the lid nice and horizontal, so I can check and see what's going on in there with my chicken, give it a stir without dropping coal dust in there. So that's that. All right, we're gonna let that cook and see how it turns out. And I don't hear the fire truck coming, so we're in good shape so far.